most to you. A closer look at current events, just the tip, special guests, and more. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, Arizona's longest-running drag live stream. Hosted by Felicia Fefe Minor and Freddy Prinze Charming. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Hello, hello, hello. Did you fall apart during the intro?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm just, it's fine.
Oh my God.
I was about to say, like, I
Everything's
love
fine.
that. The intro was like so high budget. It felt so nice, and then it immediately cuts to us, and you're fixing a broken microphone.
Yeah, you're welcome.
juxtaposition
You're
of
welcome. You're welcome.
How do you know that's
This
not
is
the
how
theme
we
of
roll.
our show?
Welcome to Let's Have
like
a
a good-
Fefe.
It's like a good drag performance. It's about levels. It's,
We never promised anything. We just.
I never said this was a high-end show. I never once, when I was like, hey, you want to be on this? I've never been like, hey, look, we are like, never, not once did I ever say this is a high-end. No.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nope.
Well, thanks for
Never.
having high expectations. I'm glad that we can destroy them for you.
Look, we were having this conversation before. Low expectations are still expectations. They're just lower.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
Anyhow, welcome to your Wednesday night conversation.
Yeah. Did you forget what
where
day it
things
was?
are falling apart and we have special guests and
That's
we
why
look
things are falling apart.
look
Don't
like
we-
a Lexus on the outside, but when you get inside, it's a Buick. You're welcome.
Toyota Celica, like from 1989.
I'm
2000
Felicia Fefe
Mercury
Minor.
Sable.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all taking us back into. I'm too young for that. I'm Felicia Fefe Minor. Are you still breaking shit?
It's fine. Everything's fine. Look, it's fine. I've only got like a couple more weeks of this, and then it'll be fine. It's fine. Well, just.
Oh my God.
All
I'm
the proceeds and tips are
thirsty.
going to go towards a new microphone or some duct tape, depending on how
This
much
is
money.
no. The microphone is fine. It's the shit that's piled on my desk that keeps falling off. It's fine. Everything's good.
Oh God. And fumbling over there is Freddy Prinze Charming, a fish out of water.
Serving
literally.
fish realness. Yes. You're welcome. I learned that from
Yikes.
Felicia.
Don't give me any credit for anything. Ooh, how embarrassing.
I can't you have to move this closer.
You can't even see, can you?
And
Our special
just continue.
and our special guest. Oh my God. Do you want to introduce our special guest since you haven't said anything, since you broke everything?
It's fine. This is actually this is the one time like the special guest actually comes from me because it's somebody that I actually know. So because it's usually Felicia and I'm usually like, who the fuck is this person? But I'm actually super happy to introduce our special guest this evening. You know her from RuPaul's Drag Race season. I know her from other shit. Maddy Morphosis. Yeah.
Other shit. I'm glad that your Pornhub is doing well. I'm glad that Freddie connected with you on Pornhub. Wow, that's great.
Look, we all know I don't watch Drag Race, okay? So not watching Drag Race means that I have to know people from other things. I loved your season,
Like I
though.
said-
I loved it. Loved it.
Thank you. It was okay for
Yeah.
about 6 episodes or so, and then it was all downhill. But
I wonder what happened.
I don't know.
We'll
Something
talk
just
about
after 6 episodes, things just weren't really clicking for me. I don't know what. But I'm biased.
Well, before we get on with the show, we'd like to thank our patrons, Allison, Brandon, Cassandra, Drake, Jensen, Casey Starr, who is watching, I believe,
Yeah, she
Carrie and
is.
Corey, Kim, Joan, Jody, Leanne, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Sassy, Shannon, Shelley, and Sky. A special thanks to our special friends who took a deeper plunge. Patricia Mason, Sky, and Drake Jensen. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. And a special thanks to Joan of Bobish, Jewelry and Wood Art, Guido Martin, Jeremy Bright of Ripple Phoenix. You can support our low budget, high budget intro,
which is going to be a new one coming by next season because
yes,
for various
Freddy
reasons,
has
it
sent me
has to be a new one.
messages about various changes that need to be made. But you can support us and get us off the low budget train. You know what? You could even buy a tape for things. You can sponsor a studio if you want. I don't know how I would get there.
Oh, you mean an actual studio? That would be cool. Not in Gilbert, though, please and thank you. That would be great.
You're welcome. You're welcome so much. You can also text LHAF to 602-730-7379 for show updates that I have forgotten to do for the last 2 weeks. But just do it anyway. It's good for you, I think. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I think that's it. That's all. I have done it all.
How was your weekend then, Felicia?
My weekend was done. It was done. It was sober. Celebrated 14 years married to the same person.
Oh, congratulations.
Not really.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Or my condolences, whichever one.
Right. I'm sorry.
Depends on the day. Got my hair cut by John at J and J's. We'll talk about that so soon. But and then
on Friday.
had a show. You are okay. Brace yourself. And then and then had a show on Sunday, which was hilarious because LaWanda Jackson kills me and snatched my wig by chance. Yes, on stage, and I was highly honored because her wig looked better on me than the one I had on. So, that was my weekend. How was y'all's weekend?
I have no recollection of what I did on Saturday. I have no idea what I did on Saturday. Not a clue. No idea. Yeah, right. Me. No idea what I did on Saturday. I know I did something.
Too much
no
NyQuil.
idea. Really? Probably yes.
Yeah.
It's the Geritol just went straight to my head. I was able to, and it was supposed to be breakfast. It ended up being kind of lunch because we had to deal with some stuff trying to get it. But I made pancakes and we did like a brunchy thing on my new flat top griddle.
Oh,
the one my Blackstone, my new So
we did that. That was fun.
I was. You were still there, yes, correct. You were still there. Yeah, it was good because I did pancakes and little egg things.
Nobody cares.
And stuff
I was
for
still
dinner.
here.
I did rice on it. I did go to Goodwill. When did I go to Goodwill? On Saturday? I went to Goodwill? When? I didn't.
What kind of life are you living?
Monday.
You don't even remember it.
What am I?
Oh my goodness.
No fucking idea what I did. I have no fucking clue. No idea what I did. Was it Saturday? I don't know.
I feel like you're too young for
I don't know. But
early onset.
Sunday, but Sunday night I did.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Whatever, fuck you.
No.
I don't know why.
We're breaking up.
Why? I shouldn't be. My thingy tells me I'm fine. I
We
don't know.
totally missed your whole tidbit. You were like
It's
excited
fine. The kid's
and
probably watching porn or something. I don't know. They're teenagers. I don't know what's happening. I'm green.
oh my
I don't
god,
know.
this is hilarious.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Big news though. The actual construction on the drag cave is done. The construction part is done. Like it is it is essentially a livable building at this point. Like it's got walls and a roof that doesn't leak and like a window and shit. Like it is done. There's a ceiling fan. There's electricity. Like all the things.
How much is it rent for?
We just have to. Well, let's see. It's essentially a studio, a couple hundred square feet. So I'm gonna say about 2,500.
Oh, fuck you.
That sounds
bitch.
about
What?
that's about accurate for
What?
Phoenix right these days. I'm gonna say. That
Never
sounds about
mind.
right.
Never you mind. I'm gonna stay right
I'm
here.
just saying.
Ooh.
As soon as we get the AC working, there's an issue with the fan on the AC. So as soon as we get the AC working, then we're gonna paint, and then I can move all my shit back in. And with luck, I may only have one more Fefe here, and then the rest of them will be done there. So that'll be exciting.
We'll have to do a couple tests because what if your internet and stuff don't work? It already doesn't
I've
work
already
in
looked
stable
into getting
conditions.
a super long, like outdoor Cat 6 cable if I need to. That can just plug in and run all the way over there. So I'm already thinking ahead. Already thinking ahead.
Meanwhile, Maddy is just sitting there.
All right. And then my partner planned a cute little
interrupt.
Right. Cute little date night on Monday. We had like a little charcuterie board and like, you know, things like that. And we started watching How to Build a Sex Room, and we put together, you remember the Legos?
Wait, pause. What is that?
That's what the shed's gonna be.
It's on Netflix.
Oh.
Right. But it's on Netflix. It's actually a really great little show. Like the woman who is this, she's got to be in her 60s, and she's British, which is I think the only reason why she can get away with this shit. Because everything sounds better when it comes out of a British mouth. But she goes in and she designed houses, like she designed houses and homes and things like that for years, for like well over like 20 years or so. And then like one of her clients randomly asked her to like design them like a sex room. So she decided to make a kind of a career out of that. So the show is she goes and she talks to these couples, and she actually does it. It's very well done. Like I'm actually kind of impressed, because usually when they handle these things, I'm like, okay, this is First of all, it's super diverse. Like they've got couples of every shape, size, color. They've got poly couples. They've got gay couples. They've got everything. They've got all the things. And
all of it.
She goes in and she kind of gets an idea of like, okay, well, what are you into? What do you want this to be? And some people are like, well, I want it to be kind of a kinky kind of dungeon kind of thing.
Like extreme home makeover.
But
after dark.
One particular room gets turned into a sex room. Right. After dark. But it's like, but she's very good at it, because what she'll do is like, if someone says that they're kinky, she's like, all right, well, let me see what that means to you, right? So she'll pull some things out of her little bag of tricks, and she'll be like, you know, here's a butt plug, here's a flogger, here's a riding crop. And if they're like, oh, well, this looks fun, you know, this is kind of cool, she'll actually take them to a dungeon where there's like a professional dominatrix or whatever, or people that do this type of thing, and she'll watch their reactions. And if they're like, oh, Jesus, then they're like, okay, not that hardcore, so I'm not gonna just throw in a St. Andrew's cross. And you know, so it's like she really does her research. Like it's actually really good. Like she does it's a great job. I highly recommend it. Go watch it. You know,
I want to sign up.
But
I love that her research is field research and like brings them out on the scene. It's like, how kinky are you really though?
But it's fantastic though, because how many people are like, oh, I'm totally kinky, and then you show them like an actual scene, and they're like, oh, like clutching their pearls. Right. And it's like, okay, so when you say kinky, you mean somebody kind of smacking your ass and like, you know, you get spanked sometimes. Like that's about it. Like not kink. So okay, you know, whatever. Like she brought one couple out, and like there was some sort of like nipple play and things like that, and they were very much like, oh, Jesus. But they brought out some rope, and they were like, oh, now this is cool. Like the rope, and like they're like, oh, I could really get into this. So she kind of like she made the whole thing, and then she put like an area with some bondage rope and stuff.
We are
so
very
like
interested
she caters to what
in
they
this.
like yeah. I want to know how
No,
I
it's
can
not
like
trading
number one
spaces.
apply so she can come in and like do our bedroom, but also I want to know
I
if I
bet
can
you
like.
you do.
But I also want to be like a consult for that person. Like I'm like, look, I can help you with a lot of this. Like she has a contractor that she works with. I'm like, look, let me be your consult person because we can do this. Her
What's the name of the
contractor is
show
fucking
again?
hysterical. How to build a sex room.
How to build a sex room.
Yes.
Oh, Randy's watching
How to build a
live
sex room
tonight.
and her contractor is hysterical. He's like this older straight white guy and he's funny as hell because he's pretty vanilla and he has his son help him on some of the jobs, and there's some of the things where his son is just like, but it's great. It's great.
It's like
I highly
me 10
recommend it.
years ago.
Pretty much. Maddie, how was your weekend? What have you been up to?
Not much. You know, just watching How to Build a Sex Room on Netflix. And but
Oh,
aside
you
from
too?
that, yeah,
Oh
you
my
know, it's the hot
God.
new show. No, yeah, what have I done? It's been kind of slowing down for shows as of late, just the past couple of weeks. But I just came back from a photo shoot in Oklahoma City with Carrie Strong, so hopefully I'll have some new photos pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
And aside from that, just like going to some shows and stuff. I'm going to be heading out to a couple shows. I'm going to be going to USMA Newcomer, I think, next week. So if you're in Dallas, come out to the Rose Room at S4. Come watch the pageant.
Oh, just a little selfless plug.
It's coming out to a little, come out to support the other queens. I mean, drag race is fun and all, but like that's not the end all be all drag. So by all means, go out.
You right.
See some local shows, see some pageants, see some other drag stuff.
Yeah.
I've never watched an episode of Drag Race.
No, you shouldn't. Reality TV, it rot your brain. It's not good for you.
He watches reality TV. Don't be mistaken.
I do not. I watch nothing but documentaries, educational films. National Geographic all the way.
Housewives. He knows all about the Real Housewives. What's the other one? It's still a documentary. Is that what you just said? Documenting women go crazy.
Married at First Sight is always good.
Little Women.
90 Day Fiance. I need Hulu to hurry up and catch up and put some more 90 Day Fiance on there because I need some more 90 Day Fiance. But educational things. These are good reference materials for relationships.
Huh.
Speaking of relationships, I'm a terrible person, and I just realized that I have no tip tonight. I was busy doing the other shit. I was trying to work on other things. I did not do a goddamn tip tonight. Terrible.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh,
I have
my God.
I was like, oh, let me put a couple of news things on here so that we can go, into our guest and whatever. And I'm just like, forgot about the tip. I was like putting questions on our thing for sex
what
trivia
are
this
penis
weekend.
coat hooks? Oh,
exactly what they sound like.
I just said
exactly
it
what they sound like.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you. Look at Maddie has the same confused face on. See? I'm gonna go Google this. Is this on Amazon?
I'm a child of God. I feel like
Etsy.
I should. Don't tell me what it is.
Etsy. Look for penis coat hooks, or like, yeah, they're on Etsy. And in fact, the exact ones that she used are oh, do you remember last year? I think it was last year. No, the year before. Felicia, the Leather Daddy like body lotion and stuff. The brand Leather Daddy.
Oh, I thought we were talking about a person.
No, the brand Leather Daddy, the guy in Albuquerque who makes like the lotion and stuff like that.
Yes.
So we were watching How to Build a Sex Room, and she does one room in this gay couple's apartment, whatever, and they're like, they're panning through a whole bunch of stuff, and she's got the Leather Daddy lotion in their cabinet. And in another one too, she's got it. So he's actually like, now he can say that he's on, as seen on whatever. Like, I'm like, that's so fucking cool. It's like a one-man operation. Like, he makes it himself. Like, I'm like, that's awesome. Super cool. So I don't have a tip, but I suppose we can go into like a little bit of news things.
We got a lot of stuff.
We can just talk to our guests because I got stuff to ask that we can.
Am I so audible right now? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm frozen up on my little screen, so I didn't know. Make sure I'm still live.
Okay. Oh, you're still good. I'm watching on the Facebook, and you're still going. So
okay.
The
You're fine.
Facebook.
The Book of Faces.
Yes.
Sprite will no longer come in green bottles because Coke is trying to be more environmentally friendly. Clear bottles and a revamped logo coming soon because that is going to make.
Look, we have to handle the important things. You
That's
know,
what
we got to
was
cover
missing.
you got to cover the
That's what
important
was.
headlines.
I'm going to
You're
stop drinking
welcome.
Sprite now because the bottle is going to be clear.
Well, isn't it like I drink like Sprite Zero. I'm trying to like avoid sugar if possible. But isn't like Sprite Zero like diet like already in clear bottles?
It is.
I think so, but regular
Mhm.
Sprite now is going to follow suit.
Yeah. So I imagine they're just gonna put like the Sprite Zero bottles, but just put a green label on instead of a white label.
Pretty much.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a hard
That's
choice for
pretty much
them.
it.
It was a really hard choice for
Pretty
them.
much it.
Well, they just lost a customer. So
Yeah, right. Fuck that. I want my green
I'm
bottles.
over it.
It's gonna be weird. Like, are the glass bottles gonna not be green too? Because that's gonna be weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh
What
my
happened to our
gosh, the
country?
glass bottles?
I don't know.
Speaking of what's happening to the country.
There's more pressing
Biden
matters
has
than the Sprite
said.
bottle?
And I know. Look, we got the big shit out of the way. You know.
Okay, now something more lighthearted now.
Right. Biden has said that he has given the okay to trade Victor Bout, the Russian arms dealer currently serving 25 years in federal prison, to get Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, who's actually been held in Russia since 2008, get them back.
Didn't she testify
apparently
this week?
she did in a complete bullshit trial. So we all know. I think that they did it. I think it was a political move. I think they want their arms dealer back because. So I think that they totally pulled that political move. So yeah, Biden has given the okay on that, which the Department of Justice actually was kind of like, wait, no, we weren't going to do that, but. So we'll see if it actually goes through or not.
Can they do that? Can they be like, hey, can you not do that right now? Like,
right.
Can they do that?
I think he kind of blindsided the DOJ. DOJ was like, wait, we're still negotiating. Fuck, asshole. But we'll see. We'll see what other kind of demands pop up. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. Could be
Do I
interesting.
want to read this one? I don't know. In a CNN poll, more than half of the Democrats polled said that they want someone other than Biden. I think that's starting to go around like a contagious disease. Get your monkeypox vaccine. They want someone other than Biden in 2024. 75% of the Republicans who were already saying this is wrong, say they want someone other than Agent Orange. Bitch, if Agent Orange comes back full swing, I need not.
They just need to convict him and throw his ass in jail. Then we don't have to worry about it. But that's gonna take forever. So, stupid.
I think what's gonna happen is like because like he's getting like investigated right now with like Department of Justice. I think he's gonna announce his run like very soon because like he's being like investigated, and then he's gonna use his whole platform during the campaign of being like they're just trying to ruin my political campaign.
He already is. He's already doing. Yeah, he's on his what he's calling his revenge tour.
Ugh.
Like, fucker. Like, I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that the GOP is going to want to distance themselves as far away as possible from him. Like that, they're just like, you know what? We'll take some other fucking clown.
See jail time. He's
I
got what?
It's not gonna happen. Like I'm just hoping that the Republicans are just like, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
Well,
because then we really will be.
She's doing the same thing. She's already crying. Oh my god.
Ooh, speaking of which, did you get your ballots in, Felicia?
Yeah. Actually, Scott did his before me. So.
Oh, that's impressive.
That was interesting. Yeah.
Who did you go for with the gubernatorial primaries? Who did you vote for?
I did, even though I have not seen her. kind of scary. But we figured out why we haven't seen her. Katie Hobbs. And then there's a lot of people running for town council in my area. And so I don't just tell everybody to go and read about their candidates. I found out that there is a Black man running for town council, and he is the founder of the Maricopa County Republican Foreign Policy Group or something. And I was like, wait a minute, whoa. So never assume anything about anybody, because I was like, what the hell is this? And then I kept, you know how I do. I'm like, Google this. What does this mean? And I found too many things that, I only found like one person that I was like, maybe they could be on the town council.
So I actually didn't vote for Katie Hobbs. I don't like the fact that
she's... Did you go for the Marco?
I voted for Marco Lopez. As much as I would love to see more women in power here, I don't like the fact that Katie Hobbs went totally radio silent for the last few months. Like, I think that's bullshit. Like, there's been nothing from her, nothing. And I'm like, what? They got like there was like a clip of her at the polls where she was like, and I did the little thing, you know, and I selected myself for governor. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, hooray, bitch.
Nothing.
Good job, bitch.
If it's any consolation to you, I didn't vote for Katie Hobbs either. So
thank you. Yeah, that's
put
good.
that out there.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So all right, I guess we can go ahead. We'll just move right along and chat with our guests.
Text
that's probably why everybody's
from
here.
Republican candidates. Ugh, that's disgusting. But good for you, Holly. You're achieving things that I haven't. There you go.
I just get spammed with text messages from Democrats. I'm like, okay, just go away. Enough. I'm like, I already voted.
I won't text you anymore. I'm so sorry.
So, all right, on to the reason why everybody is here, because it sure as hell isn't us. So, Maddy, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. We're sorry we're such a shit show.
What just happened? Oh my god.
It's fine. Our regulars know and understand this. It's fine. It's
we have a guest on a Wednesday.
So I think, if I remember correctly, we actually met briefly in 2019 at the US of A Diva competition.
Yeah. What was it? 19? Was it 18? It's been a minute. It's been a long time.
It was 19 because that was the year I won. It was the last year.
Oh yeah. So it was then. I remember like that was like, because I was there at Diva the year prior helping somebody. I was in like somebody's talent. And 2019 was the year my partner competed, so I got to go there just as like a purveyor of the arts and just watch it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So yeah, and I remember like I met you because it was like everyone went to the hotel after the pageant, and they're just kind of sitting around eating like breakfast, dinner. I don't remember what it was. And I was at a table, and that's when we first started kind of talking. Because I remember talking to you about your evening wear for that pageant. Because whenever I picture like, you know, MI and, you know, like pageants and stuff, especially like MI Classic, I go there expecting very like, you know, traditional little suits, sequin suits and stuff. And I remember whenever you walked out, you had a really nice suit and you had all this confidence. And I was like, oh, it's really nice little evening wear. And then you opened it up and you had like this corset on underneath like the jacket. And like something about the way you wore it, like it was just this really cool like androgyny that you don't normally see in like male pageant, like male centric pageantry. I don't know. It was really cool. And I remember like I need to talk to him about that.
It was one of those things when I went back to compete, because I competed for a classic in 2016 and everybody was really mad at me because I said I didn't want to win, because I didn't. I wanted top surgery. So I said I'm fine with first alternate, which I got first alternate, but I won talent, so I'm okay with that. But when I went back in 2019, I said, you know what, if I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna do it my way. So I'm, you know, whatever it is that I do is gonna be very me. And I'm
you
like,
did it your way.
suits and stuff are fine, but I'm like, no, I got to do a little something. So that was when the
Mhm.
corset and everything came into it. So it was, it seemed to work.
Beverly.
But then I actually got to see you compete at US of A Newcomer later that year.
Mhm.
And I still think that your talent is was one of the best ones that I've seen. And you executed it so perfectly. Because I was mad at the placement and everything. I was like, motherfucker. But for those of you that were not aware,
share with the rest of us.
So in 2019, when Maddy competed,
You remember that far?
Barely. I only clip bits and pieces, the important bits.
Picture
I'm glad
Sicily,
she's memorable.
1922.
Right. So
Early
Maddy
onset
competed for
dementia.
US of A Newcomer and did the Mr. Bean bit with the invisible drums. So if anybody hasn't seen it, Google it. Because Rowan Atkinson, when Rowan Atkinson did it, he's a master of timing. Like he had it was, and I remember watching Maddy do it and being absolutely blown away. I was like, oh my God, because one of the key things with that talent, and I've seen a few people try and do it, and it's like, but you have to remember where everything is on the drum kit. Because if you forget where everything is on the drum kit, it doesn't work. And it was so well done. I remember me and Dustin were sitting there going, oh my God, this is fucking fantastic. And then they called placements and we were really mad. We were going to start throwing things, but it's fine.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't the talent that killed me. It was the evening wear, which
I know.
Which I knew. I was like, it's fine. I knew I wasn't going to win. But like that talent, I remember whenever I came up with that talent, because I was like, I'm going to go to nationals. I work at Target. I can't afford backup dancers. I was like, what's a fun solo talent? And I came up with that. And it's really hard. It was hard to learn because there's so many like little tiny little details, little noises and stuff. And if anyone like hasn't seen the skit, it's basically like he's doing like an enactment of he finds an invisible drum set, starts like playing on it. He does like all these like little tricks and little things, funny moments. But it's really meticulous. It's like every little tiny sound, and like you said, like you have to know like where like it would be on a drum kit to really like sell it, like you're hitting all the specific things. And I remember whenever I was doing that, Liza was actually telling me, she was like, I don't think they're gonna like it. And I was like, well, it's all I got. So we'll see what happens. I was like, it's what I brought.
I love partner honesty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went there, I was like, I knew I had a good interview, and I knew that like my evening gown was good enough. And I was like, maybe I can do the talent. It's like, I'm not going to win, but maybe I can make it to final night. And with that talent, like they ended up liking my gown, and they liked my talent, and they liked the interview. And I made it to final night. And then final night, I was just like, I'm not going to win. I'm going to wear this one dress and a short hair and see if they like that too. And they hated that. So
they hated it. I remember that. I was like, fuckers.
Whoa.
But I also remember that you ruffled some feathers at Newcomer because everybody's like, you did. Because you were a cisgender heterosexual man in drag.
Oh.
What the hell were you doing in this gay space?
Oh.
It was
no one said anything to me directly or posted about it, so it was just.
I'm sure nobody did. We heard things that were going around, and you absolutely ruffled feathers because drag is for everybody. Oh no wait, not like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting because I fucking loved it. I was like, okay, so you're gonna tell me that some heterosexual person can't fucking do drag? Fuck you, hold my beer. Like, no, this is so I think that in itself, I mean, people were mad. People were upset.
Were they mad or were they jealous?
Yes.
Okay.
Like there were some queens that were legitimately like, I heard some promoters talking about the fact that their contestants were bent. They were like, well,
do better. Yeah. Isn't that what the pageant's for?
You would think
Like,
so.
I'm just here, we're here for a good time, not a long time. We're all going to be skeletons one day. So I don't know. If they're that upset about me wearing a dress, so be it. But I mean, my own thing, like I chose the US of A pageant system specifically because of the fact that it has like 9 different divisions. It allows like AFAB performers, trans performers. It celebrates all this diversity. So I was like, this is the system that I want to compete for, because there are systems like, there's systems that I should not be a part of. Like obviously like, trans centric pageants or
Right.
Black centric pageants, stuff like that. And there's even pageants that don't allow trans entertainers to compete, or AFAB entertainers. And like, so I don't want to be a part of those systems either, because it feels dirty to step in a space where others are not allowed, but then I get to prosper.
Right.
So I chose USFA specifically because it was a large pageant system that really celebrated diversity. So I was like, if I'm going to compete anywhere, this is the place. And that's something I talked about in my interview too, was that I respected the US of A system for being so, supportive of like all different kinds of drag. And I would love to be a part of this like legacy and like, this, what you guys have like built here, and be like that next barrier that's like kind of torn down. And yeah, so I mean, if some people are upset at that, it's like people are upset about that, but at the same time, they root for some national title holder who's a transphobe, so it's like, where do you draw your line?
No, So
I have a question.
Go ahead, Felicia. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay, you go ahead. You said hold on. Okay, I'll hold my question.
No, go ahead.
No, you told me to hold on.
No, I said go ahead.
Oh, I thought
y'all both holding the door right now. Like, no, you go. No, you go. We have a Canadian standoff right now.
For those that don't know you, how did you get started in this? How did you get started in drag?
So it's a really
short version.
The short version. Oh gosh.
Medium version.
I'll give like a medium version, because it's kind of a long story. But like, growing up, like I was always like a little bit different. Like I grew up around like much like female cousins and stuff like that, and I always felt a little bit more feminine to a degree. I was really drawn to like fashion, a lot more artistically minded compared to a lot of other people in my small little conservative town that were all about like sports and hunting and just really masculine people. And just like growing up, I remember like I was always really like enamored with like the transformation aspect of like makeup and stuff. And I remember movies like Tu Wong Fu, like John Leguizamo's character in particular, like the way I knew John Leguizamo from like other movies, and like seeing that transformation at the end of the movie, and like he looks like a beautiful woman. I don't know, just like that was like something that I think was a core memory, was the first like little seed. But then like growing up, I started to, kind of question like, why am I a little bit different than like a lot of the other guys? Does this mean like I'm gay or trans, or, what does it all mean? And back in like 2011, 12, whenever it was, looking online, there's no resources that talk about that gray area that people exist in, or non-binary, gender non-conforming. It was just like, oh, you're different, you're gay, you're trans. And so when I left high school, I really went on like this kind of journey to kind of figure out where I fit into everything. And I started making friends online that were like in the community, and like going out and like with like some friends. And I started going out to like a club, and it was like the only queer space in like my hometown or anywhere near it. And it was the only place I can kind of really explore like myself. And I was going out in like different levels of like femininity, seeing where I fit into everything. Like I might go out like full like femme, or more like drag, or more androgynous, or more kind of like just gender non-conforming, just trying to find out what it meant for me. And where I kind of nestled in, I started to realize that like I go out dressed up in a certain way, come home, take it all off, and like it's all just like, it's literally just like fabric and like colored dirt you're putting on your face. Like it doesn't matter. And I realized it wasn't like a problem that was inherently wrong with me or not understanding who I was, but more so that it was learning that like all like the lines that are drawn were just completely arbitrary. Like the gender roles, expectations are completely made up. And so I've kind of narrowed like, no, I was born male, I identify as male, I'm happy with that, I'm attracted to women, but I just don't respect like the gender roles. Like, you're not born, whenever you're born, God didn't give you a pink onesie and a Barbie doll. It's like that's all society, and But yeah, so like I was going on this like long journey like out of the clubs and stuff and spaces and trying to find out where I fit into everything. And I did that for a few years. And it just so happened to be that the club that I was doing that at did drag shows on the weekends. Because I remember going out and like I'm literally different like levels like femininity, dressing at like different like levels, and seeing drag shows. I'm like, that looks like a lot of fun, but I would never do anything like that. Because they're coming out there. They're coming
Famous
out.
I think
last
that's how we
words.
all
Yeah.
start.
Well, they were coming out in, like rhinestone leotards, doing like dance numbers, because Arkansas is very pageant heavy, and like they're doing stuff like that, and I'm like, that looks like a lot of fun. I love going to the shows, but I would never. And then it was like at some like camp and comedy queens. I saw a few of those, and that's when I started to realize like, oh, you can really do like whatever you want in drag. And I started getting my own idea in my head for like different shows and numbers that I would do. And so then they had like an open stage night. A friend gave me a push to do it, and it just kind of took off from there. I started getting more ideas like how I want to grow this, what I want to do next, and yeah, it just kind of evolved into this.
When you first started, did anybody like kind of give you shit like, oh, you're doing this, there's no way you're actually straight, like you've got to be a little bit gay, like you just you know what I mean, who you trying to fool, like like.
Well, like whenever I first started drag, I mean, there's obviously people that are like, oh, you're not actually attracted to women, but I mean, it's like, I don't know, I go home with women, so yeah, your opinion doesn't change my life experiences.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, like whenever I started drag, I would not have identified myself as like a cishet person when I started. Like I knew I was attracted to women, but I didn't know who I was. And when I started drag, I really thought that I might have been trans, because that's whenever I was like very entrenched in like exploring like my femininity and trying to find out what it meant for me. And I felt very confident whenever I went out like dressed up and like wearing all this stuff. I felt very confident in that. And so for a while I thought, does that mean that I'm trans? And I realized that no, it's just like I feel more confident that way, and that confidence that I get from that I can apply to like my day-to-day self. It's just people responding to that confidence that kind of like puts you in this cycle that makes you more confident. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, it's like doing drags, but maybe it's like doing drags that made me realize that I wasn't, trans or non-binary. It was more so just realize that a lot of like the issues that I had were just not understanding how I fit into society, and then slowly realizing that, oh no, society's the one with the problems. And I think there's a lot of guys out there that are going through this same issue and not realizing it, where like they feel like they don't belong and they feel like an outsider and they can't be themselves. And it's like, well, you can. And some society won't like it, but you fuck them.
Yeah, I mean that's that's exactly it. And I mean there's still like that stigma that is if you put heels on, then it it means you're inherently feminine. And I'm like, okay, well there are some times when I feel more masculine in heels than I do other times. Like it's something about the posture, it's something about the way that you can carry yourself, and it's like, no, just because I happen to wear heels every once in a while, and mind you, not as often as yes,
I think so.
Yes,
I think you're right. Yeah,
heels, wigs, makeup, all the fucking bling. That was all for men, because who cares about women?
Or even purses.
It was all for men.
Like your money.
Men could look pretty.
Oh my
god! Like it was all of that was designed for men. I mean, look at nature. The any of the male animals are always more flashy than the females. Look at peacocks. Look at most of the birds. Like they're always flashier and fancier and whatever, whereas the females are usually just kind of bleh. So it's like, but
it's
we like to ignore nature. We don't talk about nature or science.
Yeah, I think like society, like the way it's like set, like what's considered normal, I feel like it's almost like the most like abnormal thing, because the word queer by definition is just referring to things that are different than the norm. But whenever you think about like what is queer, and it's like all these people that are literally just existing in this like gray area that are doing things outside of the norm at different levels, and they're really just being their authentic self and wherever that is, and kind of sliding into the spot that they feel most comfortable. And what's considered normal are people putting themselves in this box and doing exactly what they feel like they have to do based off some rules that were developed by people hundreds of years ago. Or it's heteronormativity is like the least normal thing. Like the idea of queer, what is considered queer, I feel is like almost like the future. And I feel like a lot of even like straight people can take note from that. and realize like how you see queer people like dressing, expressing themselves in different ways. You can do that too and still be confident in yourself. Like you can go out, you can be a straight guy and wear nail polish. You can be, you know, a straight woman and be very, very mask presenting and still be attracted to men if that's what you're into.
I think there are a lot of things that the sort of the cisgender, like heteronormative kind of world has like have determined, like they've said, you know, this is the norm, when if you look at history and you look at things, what they say is the norm and the status quo really isn't. And that's from everything from like kind of Holly, you are anything but blah, for fuck's sake.
I was gonna say
but you know, from, you know, being able to, you know, like gender roles when it comes to dress, when it comes to, you know, being in the home or whatever, to even things like monogamy. Like if you look at nature and everything, and like there are, most things are not monogamous. Like monogamous, you know, monogamy is something that some religious zealot decided this is the way it must be, and it was probably because he couldn't sell his, you know, third wife for a bag of cheese or something, so he decided to just get rid of
not
his,
the cheese, honey, not the cheese.
You know, so it's like, I think it was like at some point, I think it was determined that like having multiple wives or whatever just wasn't conducive to like a, you know, whatever. So they were like, nah, we'll just get rid of them.
One of the wives laughed. She was like,
something, right? Like it was like, I think there's all this shit that
I'm worth at least 2 bags of cheese,
right? God damn it. 2 bags of cheese and a goat. Damn it. That's where I'm at.
You women are speaking out of line. He said, do away with all these wives.
Get rid of them. I'm just going to have one. I can keep her mouth shut easier. But I like, I think there's all these things. And I think the more that there's sort of that representation, because what is his name? There's the dude who, he's straight, he's cisgender, he's very masculine in appearance, except for the fact that he loves wearing skirts and heels.
Oh yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, but I've seen the guy. He's like the bald older businessman.
Yeah, he's like got a shaved head. Like he looks like he would kick your ass in a heartbeat. But he's always wearing like pencil skirts and heels and shit, and he's got great fucking legs. But he's very like, he's like, I'm comfortable like this. And it's like Eddie Izzard, before she transitioned, you know, people would always be like, why are you wearing women's clothes? And she's like, they're not women's clothes, they're my clothes, I bought them.
That exact quote was that exact quote is one of the things that had a kind of profound realization for me. I was like, oh yeah, it's literally just clothes. Another person, Pete Burns, the singer, they I think they use they them pronouns, but they never identified like as a woman, if I'm remembering correctly. But they did like went through like all these like dressed very feminine, like androgynous for a long time, but later in life very feminine, had all the surgeries, like, you know, looked like what you would imagine, you know, like a woman by like like today's standards, but didn't identify as a woman. They're like, I'm just me. I'm literally just me. Like, don't put me in this box. Don't call me these pronouns that I don't want to be called. And there's something about like seeing them, they're like someone who's like pushing all the way to the far end of what is considered like the female spectrum, and it's just like, no, I'm not a woman. There's like there's themselves. This is how they want to look. That's how they want to, like, you know, change their appearance.
Right. This is me. This is how I'm comfortable.
It's literally expression.
Now,
so the person that you all were talking about, Mark Bryan, is he American and lives in Germany?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Okay.
I know he lives overseas. I can remember if he was actually German or if he was an American that lived overseas. That's the one. So landing on Drag Race, like that's pretty big. Like that's pretty big. And I do know that when a little bit. I'm assuming so. I've never watched any of it, so I'm guessing it is. But I know that when you made it on there, I know that people were talking about the fact that you were a cisgender heterosexual dude, and like, because I saw comments about you taking up space and blah 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 blah, all this bullshit. And like I said, it's, you know,
the internet is an awful place sometimes.
Internet is terrible. Internet is fucking awful. Never read the comments. But you know, it's such a big public platform, like did some of those shitty comments like have any like effect on you? Like did it make you kind of question things? Did it kind of make you, think, God, what this is shitty. Why am I still doing this? Like,
I never had like a second doubt of like what I was doing, because like I knew like I knew who I was. I knew like what I wanted to represent. I knew like where I stood on stuff, and I knew that if people got to know me, they wouldn't be like so hateful, because a lot of it's just gut reactions based off the snappy headlines. Because I mean, a lot of news articles, they use me as the headlines, despite the fact that we had all these like trans entertainers on the season. First straight guy on drag, which I'm not the first straight person, but it makes a more.
You're the first and only straight man to ever do drag ever.
Yeah. But it's just like,
really,
I don't know. It's okay. So I lost my train of thought. Hold on. We're really back in.
Drag race, shitty comments.
My mind's just like flooding with all the comments. Reliving. It's like my Vietnam.
No.
No. Okay.
Triggered.
Like, whenever I was gonna go on the show, like even whenever I'm in my audition video, talking about it, I even said like I want to like show like other straight guys out there that you don't have to fall into this box of like toxic masculinity just to be comfortable in like your own sexuality and who you are. And that was the platform I wanted to like go on and like push. And so I knew what I would represent, and I knew that like even if some people, they might be upset about it, I know that it could have like a positive impact for a lot of people. And I have gotten a lot of messages like from like guys that are like, oh, I've always been more drawn to like more feminine things, or I feel like you've kind of given me like an inspiration to like be myself a little bit more, and that's what I want to do, is just kind of break down that wall of like heteronormativity from the opposite side. And but going on to the show, like I knew there'd be like some negative opinions just because it's the internet and people have them. But I was unaware of like the levels of negativity, because I knew there'd be a couple of people that like I don't like it, but I was not prepared for how negative it was, because it was brutal. It was really bad at the very beginning. A lot of it before I was even announced, because when I was off filming the show, there was already people speculating about me being on the cast, and people finding out, my sexuality, and like they were not kind. So like I was just filming the show like nothing, everything's fine. But then, my partner is at home reading all these comments online.
Oh
and
no.
Yeah, she was saying like it was like really brutal. It was really hard to read. Like it was really,
and of course
really
she can't say nothing.
Because,
how did Liza take that? Like, how did because
not well,
because people would obviously know that like she was your partner. Like how was she handling that? Like that had to be shitty.
Well, I mean, for the most part, like there was a couple like negative comments, because like I've gotten like hateful comments, I've gotten death threats. She's gotten a couple because of it, but it's just 14-year-olds on Twitter. But I mean, it's the hard part is not so much hate towards you. It's more so like whenever you see someone you care about and seeing like so many people shit on them when they don't even know you. That's like the hard part. I mean, I never took it personally, just because I know that like all the hate that I was getting was coming from a good place. Because like it's not so much people weren't hating on me. They're upset about, not even upset, like more so concerned for like the community, because just a straight person coming into like this space and just being concerned for the community. And that's where a lot of the hate was. It's just gut reactions and just putting up guards against me. But it wasn't like personally directed at me, because like I said, it'd be the exact same reaction to any person that identified as straight that would have got casted. And a lot of other people got shit on too. Like whenever Gottmate got on, there was so much like transphobia that was going around because of it. Or Victoria Scum, when she was casted for UK, there was so much like misogyny. So whenever you get something that's like new like that, there's going to be a lot of hate. But I don't know, it's just kind of looking past it, know where it's coming from, and just realize that it's nothing in comparison for like the support. And,
Right.
I'll
have you know that even though I've never watched Drag Race or anything like that, I did defend you a couple times on the Facebook when people were trying to I was like, look, Maddie's awesome. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
I appreciate you. Every now and then, like I'll see like an old post pop up in like memories or something, and I'll see like the old comments from like back in like December, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a lot more brutal than I remember. Because like everyone's calmed down now. Everyone's just chill. I mean, like people get bored easy, but also people realize that like, oh, he's not a piece of shit. So
right. Real quick, one of your fans on, I think it's Twitch, wants to know if you're still in Arkansas or if you decided to move. You're still in Arkansas, right?
I am still in Arkansas at the moment. I do plan on moving at some point. We're kind of weighing options and seeing like where we want to go. But I definitely want to move to like a bigger city and just give it a try. Worst case scenario, I can always come back to Arkansas, I'm sure.
I spent a week in Arkansas and it tried to kill me. I have no desire to go back to Arkansas anytime soon.
Don't go to Arkansas. He can't go to Arkansas anymore.
Was it the humidity?
Tried to kill. No, it literally tried to kill me. For my fucking step down. I was there the night after I got there. I ended up with strep throat and anaphylaxis. So I had to drive myself the mile away to the ER. That was super fun. And then I was like dying for the rest of the week because everybody's smoking in bars. Like, what the fuck? It's 2022, not 1984. Yeah. And then I get back and I get COVID. So does my partner. And then we give it to her daughter. Arkansas tried to fucking kill me. Yeah.
Let it be known.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy about that at all. Not happy about that at all.
Because Maddy had everything to do with that.
Mm-hmm. I did.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that she did. I'm just saying that I
was passing out cigs to people
to like rush off to Arkansas again because
hurry, it's
that's what happens to me the first
smoke
time.
These. Smoke these.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get monkeypox next time. Like I can't.
Don't you dare say it out loud. Oh my god.
I'm just saying. Like so
it's over.
I've seen your partner now compete twice, I believe, for USFA Diva, and she's talented in her own right. I've seen her compete twice. I know she's competed more than that, but I've seen her compete. Do you guys ever like collaborate on like numbers? Do you ever like do duets and stuff, or like looks, or like do you ever like do that shit? Because you have a tendency to just pull looks together for like looks like shits and giggles, and like look at this badass outfit that I'm doing, just because it's a Tuesday, and why the fuck not? Like do you like do you guys ever
as the
like
person with the elaborate makeup on?
Look, I have a reason for this because it's Wednesday, and I'm just
sitting back.
It's a Wednesday.
You guys.
Yes and no. We'll share stuff. Like we share like a lot of wigs, and like a lot of her outfits I'll wear for like tip arounds or meet and greets and stuff like that. But as far as like performance style, well, it's just because she has really nice outfits for performing in, but it's not the kind of
she does. I'd be like, I'm gonna borrow this right now, thank you.
Yeah. But like as far as like performances, we have very like different styles. Like, cause she'll go out there in like a really cool, like strappy outfit with the sequins and stuff, and do like a dance number. Whereas I'm gonna go out dressed as Colonel Sanders. So like that's where
which I love that look, by the way. I fucking love that look. I think that's fantastic.
You.
It's like
so yeah, there's like a little divide that our drag just doesn't really cross. So like we'll borrow things, but we don't really do like numbers together or anything like that. So
that makes sense. I was just curious because you're I'm just saying, like, you're both good entertainers. I was like, y'all ever like just join forces and whatever.
Just do it. Just do it once and record it for Freddy because he'll probably ask again.
Yeah. So like, we don't join forces, but we do pool resources. I would say.
Gotcha.
Pool resources.
Gotcha. I think that's about the only reason why I would want to date another performer. But other than that, I don't know that I could date another performer. I'd be like, no, go. I don't.
It's stressful.
I don't think
like if you're both going, like if you're both going somewhere to like some event or something, and then you're both just like, do we have enough tights for both of us, or like, did you get your pads? Like, we only have one corset, one of us can't cinch. And like, I'll just duct tape mine. It's fine, Just,
oh God,
because like all the stress of like packing a suitcase and having everything ready for a number, and then times it by 2.
Good question.
It's just like stressful.
Oh, that is a good question. When is Maddy going to come to Phoenix?
That is a great question. Whenever they book me, I'm doing all my own bookings right now, so they can just reach out to me. I have like my email and stuff. But I was talking to Joey J a while back. I should reach back out about that. But yeah, I definitely.
If I had a show, I would book you, but I don't have a show. Just this.
You could,
and I'm sorry. Yeah. I could. I don't know if I could.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than later. Hopefully they'll book me in Phoenix before my 15 minutes of fame is up. And so
I would say, look, if they're gonna book you, make sure that they book you sometime between the months of December and February. Nowhere outside of that because it's too fucking hot. Don't do it.
Fair enough.
We're
Don't do it.
sweating
If they're
right
like,
now,
we'd like to
but
book
it's
you for
fine.
June, just be like, no way, bitches. I'm not falling for that shit.
Yeah.
Don't do it. No. December through February. That's it. That's the only time. That's it. So speaking of
lie.
Colonel Sanders, how do you
hungry?
find like where do you get your inspiration for your look? Because some of your like you have sort of your not your sort of straight drag, like your just your regular kind of fishy drag or whatever the fuck it is the kids call it, and then you have your like kind of over the top like kind of your over the top looks. And I know that you get a lot of your inspiration from me, and I understand that.
Right,
but where
yeah.
else do you get your inspiration?
I just
Also, thank you for that, by the way. I got like 10 new followers on Instagram for that. You're welcome.
That's it?
Yeah, I just have a mood board. It's just a bunch of pictures of Freddy Prinze Charming, and I just pull from there.
I get that.
I mean, like my looks, like even like looks that I do, like what you say, like fishy looks, like it's just that's just stuff that I will wear out on a weekend to the club or like just co-hosting a show, and that's more so like me challenging myself to kind of look as like hyper femme or like just like something very different than me that's not like over the top and crazy. But even then, like a lot of times I try to capture like a certain like aesthetic or a certain vibe for it. Like I want this to be very like goth or very Y2K or country. And then as far as like other looks like that, like kind of campy conceptual looks, it come from like a bunch of different places. Sometimes I'll see like a commercial, like I'll see a KFC commercial and I'll be like, oh, I should like make that drag. Or, like the rain cloud outfit. It was like, I remember seeing, there was a queen in Oklahoma that had like a big like afro wig that had lights in it. And I was like, that looks kind of like a cloud. I wonder if I can make like a rain cloud outfit. And I Googled like rain cloud outfit. And it popped up like the inspiration, like the Vivian from Drag Race UK, her pictures popped up as well as like this other designer. And it kind of gave me some ideas. And so I just kind of like try to make my own version of that from there.
Do you make all your own costumes? Like, do you sew?
I sew some things, but for the most part, a lot of my drag is just kind of piecing stuff together, or just like reaching out to somebody, like, "Hey, I really want to make this happen. Can you make this outfit or make this for me?" I mean, like, some things I did make myself, like the Guy Fieri dress, like that was something I made myself, like from scratch. Which one was it? There was one look I did. It was like has like a full lace mask, like a big heart piece thing. I made that one from scratch. Yes. My J-Lo look, which is on both the J-Lo looks, like the full white one I wore on the show and the one that the cell look. I made both those from scratch. But a lot of times I don't make it from scratch just because I know someone else can do it better. So,
amen.
It just depends. Like some things I can piece together. Huh?
I said amen, amen.
Yeah, it's like I mean I know how to sew. I can make something, but I mean, other people do it for.
I'm all about outsourcing it. I'm like, look, I either don't have time, or I'm like, I know somebody can do it better. So here, I will pay you. Just do this thing for me, because it's one less thing that I have to bother with.
Yeah,
send it and forget it. Or don't forget it. Bring it back.
Right. You don't want to forget it. You don't want to. You don't.
I've had that happen to me before. Don't let people forget that you hired them. Yeah.
Do that. So, you went from like kind of a.
Is your chair squeaking or are you farting?
A little column A, a little column B.
That's my chair. So
they're gonna harmonize.
So like you went from you're kind of sort of average, I guess, drag queen doing shows, going out and just hanging out, and then all of a sudden you are on what is basically considered to be like the biggest mainstream drag show on the planet, basically. How did that affect your everyday life?
I mean, even like from the get-go, like whenever I got the call, I mean, when you get the first call, it's like one of the most exciting days ever. And then you get like the second call and then they asking for information. And that last call where they're like, you're going to be on this next season. That's like the most like euphoric moment of my life, where just like nothing feels real. I feel like I'm about to wake up from a dream or something. And then immediate from there, it's just immediate stress. Cause like, oh my God, I don't have a lot of time. I have to get all these looks together. I have to pull this stuff. Cause I was working at Target when I got called for Drag Race. So I didn't have much money. And I literally live in like a apartment in Arkansas. So I'm just like scrounging together. We don't have fabric stores. I'm literally like piecing stuff together from like Joann's. It's like the most stressful thing ever. But I'm like, it's okay. I was like, I'm just gonna make what I can. So like some of the looks I got together were really cool looks, and some were just like good enough, you know.
Yeah.
And it just
Sometimes
was
good
what it
enough
was.
is good enough. It's like
Yeah.
if we can just get it.
Well, like a lot of like my favorite looks I didn't get to wear because they were just like in the suitcases. Like stuff I posted like on my Instagram, like my tutu outfit, the mirror look, like stuff I was really excited to show was just stayed in the suitcase. But I mean, like my whole mindset, I was just like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm gonna do what I can, but I know I don't have the most resources. But all that matters is just I get to the show. Even if I go home first, I'll get to the show. Because it's once you leave the show is like when the real work begins. And so like immediately leaving the show, it's like scheduling all these like photo shoots, scrounging together what I could, and just, you know, trying to get ready for whenever the show actually airs. Because I mean, the crazy part too is like, because I was working at Target and I leave for a little while to go film the show and come back. And so this life-changing event just happened, but for like 5 months, I'm still just stocking shelves at Target like nothing happened.
Because you can't say anything. You're just
Yeah.
like, fuck
What?
And just like, and that's when like, I'm kind of reading like comments online and stuff like that, which I know, like you said, you shouldn't read the comments, but I am obsessed over the comments because I'm like, I have to get a temperature check to see how people are feeling. And that's whenever I was seeing like a lot of the negativity and hate and stuff like that. So that was almost like a good like buffer because now I knew what to expect. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna expect this times 1,000, and sure enough, that's what it was. So like I was already kind of braced, and it was just a lot of like, I'm just gonna keep just posting the content that I do, keep sharing stuff, you know, just keep doing my thing, avoid the negativity. And it was a lot. It was a lot of negativity for a while, but you know, like I said, after a while, it kind of died down, and ever since then, it's just been, you know, this amazing ride because now I just go to places and, you know, it's even like places that I've performed at before, to go back there like as a D-list celebrity, and just like you walk in a room, like there's a line of like 30 people ready for a meet and greet, and they just see you from a distance and start screaming. Like it's insane. It doesn't, it almost doesn't feel like I'm just like a drag performer anymore. It's almost like I'm just like something else. Because I mean, it's like I was on a TV show, so now people view me like through like this different lens. I don't know.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's so I can't even imagine. I mean, I get the screaming because like I get that. But you shush. But like that's just like it's whatever. But I can just like that just, it's got to be such a rush to like walk in somewhere and just have people going absolutely batshit crazy, and you're like, dude, that's for me. Like that's they're screaming for me.
Well,
like
I remember the very first show that I did, like after the cast was announced and everything, and there was still like a little bit of like hate online and stuff. So I was actually scared to go to the show because I was like, what if like someone's like fucking crazy, or like one of these people sending me death threats? What if they show up at like the show, you know? Or even like at best, what if someone like throws like a tomato at me or something, you know? But so I was like really nervous my first show, like as like a RuPaul.
I have a feeling if somebody threw a tomato at you, you'd probably roll with it. In fact, you'd probably turn it into a whole fucking act.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I'd
probably turn yourself into like a sandwich or something. I don't know. I feel like there'd be some sort of something in there. The tomatoes.
We'll workshop it.
I feel like you could just like have 2 pieces of bread with like Velcro, and then like people throwing like cucumbers and tomatoes and shit at you, and you just catch the and turn yourself into a sandwich.
We'll work it out.
Okay, we're gonna need that next. We're gonna need that next.
But yeah, no, like I was kind of nervous, and I was like, what if they don't actually like me here? What if I'm just like booked for like controversy or something? But then I walked in, and like they said, there was a huge meet and greet line, and the first time hearing like people, like this huge group of people screaming for me just because I walked out of the dressing room to go to the meet and greet, and they're all just camped out looking at the dressing room waiting for me to walk out, and just to hear them scream like that, like I don't know, it's I don't know.
So what's next for you then?
Like it's crazy.
Like, so you have all this stuff. So what's next? What's next? You know, what's happening? What's on your books? What are you doing? Are you just kind of riding this? What do you have like? What's next?
So right now, like I'm still like doing shows and stuff. I've actually stopped reaching out for shows just for the time being, because I had like a lot of like stuff in like June, July. So like August, I'm really gonna take this time to kind of get things together because I really want to start pushing out more content like online, like especially like getting more like involved in like YouTube and like longer form content. and to see like what sticks, whether it be like make it videos, skits, review shows or something. Just try some different stuff, see what people like. Because I know like people really like the content that I'm already making on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff. So just explore that avenue further, because it's like the internet's always been like my bread and butter. Like I'm, iPad baby, always just online. And so I don't know. I feel like I prosper pretty well online to a degree. So I definitely want to just like kind of expand upon that. And I've already started buying stuff to set up, like video and like lighting and stuff like that. So that's definitely like the next thing planned. And then once that's situated, start doing more shows on top of that, and just, see what avenue is most prosperous for me, what people really respond to, what people like. Like I said, a lot of
I'm
it.
excited to see what you end up doing next, because I already like I already love what you do anyways. So I'm excited to see what you end up doing after the kind of rush kind of dies down and you have a second to kind of regroup and be like, okay, what am I doing now? So
yeah.
But
I mean, it's a lot of work, because like obviously, like if you don't say anything or post anything, you start to kind of fizzle out a little bit. People want content all the time, so it's just push stuff out, see what sticks, and worst case scenario, if it all fails, I'll just go back to work at Target. It wasn't a bad job, so.
Jason says
Vegas
away
is a hell of a far of a drive from Arkansas. It's like 24 hours from here to Arkansas, then add another 4 hours onto that. Like that's a hell of a drive from Arkansas. That is not a short drive.
Is Phoenix only like 4 hours from Vegas?
Yeah, it's only about a 4 hour drive. Yeah,
that's
the only good thing about Phoenix is that we're like 6 hours from California, 4 hours from
we can
Vegas,
get out
and
quickly.
4 hours from Mexico. Right. Like it's a quick drive pretty much to get the hell out of the state we need to. So there is that. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you met anyone or anybody in particular that sticks out in your mind that was affected by your appearance on the show?
I've met a few people. Like I said, I've met a lot of like, some guys that are like, I'm a straight guy, or even like a bisexual guy that's like, I always feel like I couldn't express my femininity, and I feel more emboldened by it. Or I'll see like a guy out at the venue that's kind of dressing androgynously or very like in femme or even in drag. That's just like, oh, I always wanted to like go to drag, but I feel like I couldn't until I saw you, and now I feel like more comfortable being myself. And I mean, I think a lot of that is good to an extent. I think a lot of like, not even just straight men, but just men in general should, explore their femininity, see like where they fit in with everything, walk a mile in someone else's heels for a moment. I don't know, just explore
They're
themselves.
Uncomfortable. Let's just fair warn everybody. Some of them are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I need to get back into like wearing heels more often, because I used to wear them all the time for bingo. Now when I put them on, because I didn't have to wear them for like almost 3 years, now I put them on, I put them on for 10 minutes. I'm like, ow.
And he's like hunched over.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
But yeah, like I've had that effect on some people, or someone even tell me they're like, oh, my boyfriend loves watching you and he wants to get started in drag, or he wants to like come out and like wear skirts or whatever it is. And it's really nice. But even aside from that, like people that are just like people that follow me online, they're like, I see your tweets and your TikToks and stuff like that, or I watched you on the show, and I don't know, just like your presence has really helped me through like a dark time, or I don't know, just like knowing that you have that effect. It's really weird going from doing shows for like an audience of like 40 people once a week, and now to post things for an audience of like, or like to be on TV in front of millions, and now everything that I do is viewed by like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. It's really crazy.
I have over 2,000 followers on the Instagram.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm proud of you. I remember when you weren't on there.
That's about how many followers I had whenever I got casted. I think I only had like 3,000 or so.
Your time is coming.
So
yeah,
the public wants to know, are you a drag mom? Do you have like drag babies, or are you like, no, fuck that noise?
I do not. No, because it's like I don't want the responsibility of it. And I know too that like I'm really like, if I'm making something or creating something, I really like obsess over it. And I know that if I have like a drag child, that I would just like unwillingly.
Oh, you would be a pageant mom.
I would put too much of myself, like project too much of my stuff onto them. Especially if I had a drag kid that could dance, I'd be like, you're about to do everything I can't do. And I would just like
toddlers and
oh my God, you're a pageant mom. Mhm.
So I'm just
So
like, fair enough.
we do have a little game that we like to play with our guests. Felicia,
Oh,
would you
gosh.
like to
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
yeah.
we haven't
Should you
had
be
a chance to
scared?
do this like all season, so it's fine. You're
You'll be
fine.
fine. You'll be fine.
So
Don't think
the
too
key
much
to
on it,
this,
though.
don't think about it. Just answer the first thing that pops into your head.
Oh gosh.
Okay?
Okay.
You
Yeah,
ready?
you'll be fine.
Would you rather be born with 3 nipples or born with 2 belly buttons?
I think 3 nipples.
Okay. Piercing in your armpit or piercing behind your knee?
Ooh, knee. I think knee.
Pinky toe penis or armpit vagina?
Um, probably pinky toe penis. It's just kind of there. Yeah. I feel like the armpit
Uh,
vagina would be like a lot more maintenance, because like you sweat a lot in your underarm. Yeah.
you right. You right. Know all the mysteries of the universe or read minds?
Oh, read minds.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah. I don't really care
Would
about
you
the
rather
universe that
have a
much.
vagina on your forehead
Another one?
or a row of penises down your back like a stegosaurus?
Ooh, the bottom one just because the second one just because I'm a big dinosaur fan. Stego is like my favorite dino, so
Whoa.
I
well,
always said that the penis is down my back, but so many of our guests have been like, no, the vagina on the forehead, and I'm like, but if it acts like a normal vagina, like ew, like then you have,
yeah.
I mean, I sweat going to the mailbox, so having a vagina,
just- it
you
just
can't go like
I
this.
just.
I mean, like I
just-
wear hats, so that would be too much an issue. But I don't know. I still
But
feel like
it
the
had
other
to
one would
breathe
be like,
sometime.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't just keep a hat. Like you gotta high maintenance. I feel. I don't know. I don't know. All right, give the folks all of your social media so they can find you.
Oh gosh. Yes. So you can follow me at Maddy Morphosis on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's just at Maddy Morphosis, spelled the way it's written here on the little screen. Is that my own
Not
social
in the
media?
video description. In the video description, I misspelled, or the title, I misspelled your name. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
gosh, sabotage.
Good job.
Sabotage. Yeah,
Probably.
it should be the same name. Yeah. So at Maddy Morphosis, Instagram, TikTok,
I didn't even say more.
Twitter, soon to be
I noticed that.
YouTube, Cash
Soon
App.
to be YouTube.
Yeah,
Cash
all
App.
there.
And
Whoa.
you're booking yourself, right? So people can get a hold of you, like send you a message through
This
social media
mystery
or
person
email
wants
or
to know
whatever.
your booking info.
Booking
It's
information.
DJ.
So if you are a club promoter or someone, or reaching out for your own show somewhere, it's maddymbookings@gmail.com. It's also in my Instagram bio as well. Instagram and Twitter bio as well. So in case you're wondering about the spelling or anything. But yeah.
Do you have any
Get me out of
any
Arkansas.
shows, any gigs coming up that people can go see you if they so choose?
I have a couple. Like I said, not a whole lot, just because I'm kind of taking August off. I'm gonna be hosting. I might be coming. I think I'm coming to San Antonio August 25th. I think that's my next one, and I might be coming to Albany that weekend as well. But aside from that, I think my next big shows
From San Antonio to Albany?
I think
That's a hell of a drive. That's a hell of a flight. That's like
I get around.
Fly.
Well, there's a day in between,
Jeez.
so it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Okay. I'm like, good lord.
Yeah. Aside from that, like all the other dates are still tentative right now. The other dates that I'm working out, so I don't want to announce anything and then it fall through, because then people will get mad at me or at the venue.
So follow Maddy on the social media so you can figure out where she's gonna be, so you can stalk her. What gigs do we have coming up, Felicia? So this Saturday, I've got a drag story hour at Brick Road Coffee in Tempe. Drag story hour starts at 10 a.m., which means I'm going to be up at the ass crack of dawn putting my face on, and then I get to come home, take it all off, take a nap, because we've got sex trivia Saturday night. Yay!
So one thing, I got asked last night to be a part of a Michael Jackson show. Partly because I'm Black, I think. But just kidding. The darker shades of Michael. On Friday.
I didn't say anything.
Your face said it all. And not like this. I had an idea and it didn't work out so well, but the time is my enemy in this one. So anyway, and that's at Thunderbird Thunderbird Lounge at 8:00.
And sex trivia this Saturday is at Gracie's Tax Bar, which is 7th Avenue, just south of Roosevelt. We start signing up for the first game at 8 p.m. And then the second game, we start signing up as soon as the first game is over.
Maybe my friends will be there this time. Maybe they'll record me better because they
that
do
would
not
be
get
exciting.
good lighting on me.
No, they're Republicans. They're not good at that sort of thing. You know? And then August 14th, I am at Dragalicious Sundays at Bumstead's in Tucson, which should be a good time. And then after that, we've got Drag Bingo and Cats August 19th. Then August 20th, Felicia and I are at Adult Story Hour in Tucson. That should be exciting. I'd like to see them try and tell us we're pedophiles then, because now we're indoctrinating adults.
Oh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just get them all. It's like Pokemon. We can get them all. Mm-hmm.
And then August 21st, I'm back at Three Fates Review at C7.
And then in September is the 16th, right? That sounds right. We'll so there's plenty of dates, and I fair warn you again that don't ask for tickets when they go so fast. And when people know that they're advanced, I noticed that some people buy, like, they're like, oh, I'll go for this month, this month, this month. So they buy like 3 months in a row. We know who they are. So yes, lots of fun coming up. Lots of fun. Oh, I forgot to add the August 21st. I haven't settled that yet, but
yes. Figure once that's done, then you can throw that on there.
More stuff coming. But yeah, I can't wait to see what you do, Maddie. We'll be.
I thought you were talking to me.
Well, we can't wait to see what you do too.
Whatever. You just don't look at me like that, Felicia. It's fine.
Catch Freddy Prinze on season 15.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
It's high time for a king to get on there. I'm just saying. I've been saying it for a while.
We'll do an audition tape.
Yeah.
Let's do an audition tape.
Beneath us.
What?
You don't do it for you. Do it so all the other kings get higher booking fees. You have to change the public perception. Change the world. Yeah,
that would never happen. They'd be like, oh, okay, well, we'll go ahead and give you $50 show pay instead of your usual tip spot. That's what it's gonna be.
Whoa.
That's money.
I mean, $50 you didn't have.
That's money.
It's fine. Thank you, Maddie, so much for jumping on our shit show tonight. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
That's so.
They're feeding in. They're feeding in.
We get a letter of reference, please. Thank you, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna text Rue right now and let him know.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. And thank you to everybody that tuned in this evening. We appreciate you as well.
And those that watch on the replay, because we know. And Randy watched live tonight. So what are they gonna do on Friday if they watched live tonight?
I don't know what he's gonna do on Friday. We just killed his whole routine. I mean, he may have not watched the whole thing, so we'll see. Maybe he only watched part of it. So then on Friday he's gonna have to catch up with the podcast. So.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
He only saw the part we talked about the shed. He missed everything else.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
that was the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
it is the most important part.
And the Sprite thing, but yeah.
And the Sprite bottle.
Yeah.
Sprite bottle, like that's breaking news. Like we cover the important topics here.
Ooh.
We talk about the things that really matter.
Oh, DJ Image says, look out for my email. Stay booked and busy, everyone. Trying. Okay, so we will see you all for your Wednesday night conversation next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Subscribe to the Let's Have a Fefe podcast. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher. See you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. This has been Let's Have a Fefe.